the top decks you can play to get rank 5 or legend or whatever rank you want to achieve. Welcome back, my name is Solem, and we will take a look at the top decks on the last week where people got to high legend with that you might want to try out as well. Without wasting much time, let's just start. We take a look at Snip Warlock, by far the best deck at the moment. I also covered that in the video yesterday, but at the moment, Snip is just so broken. You can win against any deck if you face aggressive mage, which is one of the most prevalent decks at the moment. You just make a giant Zilliax, heal for 40, and they pretty much concede because you have Reno infinitely. If you face anybody who plays just aggressive, bot focused, token decks, odd Paladin, token druid, stuff like that, who cares? You have a giant wall of taunt, because summoning portal into Mech Warper makes your Snap not cost 1 mana but 0, because they didn't fix that. Keep in mind though, which is the main misplay you make, you have to play summoning portal first. If you play Mech Warper first and then summoning portal, your Snip is stuck at 1 mana, not at 0. You have to play Summoning Portal first, and then Mech Warper for 5 mana total, and then you can go in and win. Which means you can win on turn 4 if you coin one of the cards out. All you gotta do to deal 30 damage is have 1 mech survive on the field, and you have enough mechs. Even if that doesn't happen and win you the game, you have Galvanizer to reduce the cost of not just the mechs in your hand, but also for Mechathin, which allows you to play Plague of Flames and Mechathin together to win the game. You even have Annoyatron to annoy the opponent in the early game. And just in case everything you would like to try doesn't work, you also have Glinda. If Glinda survives for 1 turn, or you have a summoning portal still on the board, you can also go infinite. Because Glinda into Mech Warper is only 9 mana, and then you can play like 5 Mech Warpers and make a giant bot. It's 9 mana in total. So at the moment, by far the most broken deck, but you don't need Glinda. Most of you don't have Glinda, you don't need to craft that. You also don't need Thanos. Solarium is nice to draw early and to draw more, but you also don't need to craft that. So we can make the deck a little bit cheaper. Lothar is, you don't need Lothar. Moving on to a deck that is just built to punish anybody who would like to play aggressive, especially mages. Odd Warrior. The Resident Sleeper Warrior. Now you might see that we have one whole new card in here. Plague of Wrath. It's pretty much another brawl after Whirlwind Effect. The important thing about this deck is, about the deck list we show here. We have double heal bot, meaning even if your opponent plays mage and just throws fireball after fireball into your face, you can heal and heal and heal, you armor up. It's pretty much, you face anybody who plays aggressive and doesn't win by turn 4, you won. The only downside is, number 1, you 100% lose to Jade Druid automatically. You have no Dirty Red or Hecklebot or Deathlord in the deck. You don't even run Stonehill, which means if your opponent plays Mechathin or the Snip combo or something like that, you also kind of lose. But if you just face mages and a lot of early game decks, Zoo, Token Druid, Odd Paladin, Odd Rogue, you will just win playing this. In case you face something like Reno Warlock, it's unlikely that you're going to end up winning the game. But for those cases, you also have Elysiana in here. Because you can close out the game if your opponent is at 0 cards and you play Brand into Double Courtlight to make them fatigue for 36 in total, and them drawing 8 cards plus the initial turn, making it 9 cards. Or you play Elysiana and you can just play 1 card a turn, extremely slow, hero power, and watch your opponent die inside. So again, you hate aggressive decks, play this one. Then the aggressive deck that gets countered by the last one I showed. Secret Mage, yay, don't we all hate that? So in the last week, I think I faced mages to 35%. Like every third game is against mage, and me playing meme decks at rank 5, I just instantly concede because you end up losing most of the time. Thing about mages, every single secret gives your opponent another chance to misplay and to try to play around something you don't even have. If you play a duplicate, for example, the opponent first wastes a spell for counterspell, then he plays a minion to see if it gets transformed or if explosive runes hit that. Well, they didn't play optimal for 2 times already. And you can do that for every single secret. When it turns out to be ice block or counterspell, they also die inside. Because they would just like to face a different opponent. If we take a look at the cards in here, you have 2 Apex and you just need 1. You need 1 ice block. 2 ice blocks is kind of weird because the turn your ice block pops, you have to play the second one and then use 7 mana to go face. It gives you +1 card draw, or +4 cards if you also have Aloneth equipped. But I personally would just play double Mad Scientist -1 ice block. Aloneth itself is pretty much a win condition. Weapon is broken, 27 cards, and for me, the way I would build it, 28 cards are not epic or legendary. This is damn cheap and probably the best deck at the moment. Outside of Snip Warlock, that is. I would personally put this at rank 2, or at spot 2 in the tier 1 list. The fact that you can cheat out secrets 4 times, and then with Mad Scientist even a 5th or even a 6th time, is incredible. Your opponent plays cards on the field, who cares? You have Flag Mage. You want to draw a secret and play it immediately for 2 mana? You can. You have Ancient Mysteries. I would even say if you just point face and never trade, you also win most of the games. There is close to no decision making, besides the secret you play. One tip, if you go first, don't play counterspell until your opponent plays the coin. It's a really dumb mistake lots of people make. So don't do that. Next, the deck I was incredibly surprised by even seeing anywhere on a list. Ever. Period. It's Evolved Shaman. You wouldn't have guessed that. Pretty sure you wouldn't have. Somebody got rank 1 legend playing Evolved Shaman on the Asian server. He went 23-5. I don't know what they faced. And there was not a single reply to the tweet, but there was like 60 upvotes and 20-30 retweets. But somebody got to rank 1 legend playing this. I mean, personally, I love Evolved Shaman because it's random. You play Corridor Creeper for 0 mana. You play Mogo Flesh Shaper. And most importantly, it's random. And random is kind of the fun aspect of Hearthstone, but this got to rank 1 legend. I mean, you've evolved, you've mutated, you have unstable evolution. I don't fully understand the game plan of why we play Desert Hare, but I will 100% give this one a try the next time I stream. We even have Octosari in here. We have Double Spirit of the Frog and Octosari for card draw. And that's it. Then we play Evil. I don't fully understand the deck, to be honest. I would guess you play the cards on curve, and then you evolve doppelgangsters and stuff like that. Or you try to make lots of tokens to then go in with Stormbringer or Corridor Creep, who then got reduced. But this one being rank 1 legend, the best deck in the meta on Asia at the moment. Kind of weird. What I would personally say though, from my own experience playing Evolved Shaman, more the meme version of it than a competitive version, you don't need Thrall, you don't need the Death Knight. Pretty much nobody has that because the card is bad. The card is bad. It's really good if it happens on turn 5. If you play, for example, coin into doppelgangs and then follow up with the Death Knight, but that doesn't really happen. I would say if you do have Finlay, just play him. Get a better hero power. You don't need your 0-2 totems for 2 mana each. It's a little bit too much. But you also don't need Thor. I will also test if Octosari is necessary at all. Like, what happens if you don't draw the card? Is the deck significantly worse? I will find out for you in an upcoming video. Next, we got the most expensive deck so far on the list. It's Reno Hunter. I tried Reno Hunter myself. I suck at playing that. But I also played a different version. As you might see in here. First, we have like 10 legendaries. And we got Reno, which means you win against aggressive decks. We have a lot of cards in the 6 to 8 mana region. We have Katie, we have Gazrilla, we got Dino Tamer Bran, we got Savanas, we got Playdat, we got the Death Rattle Synergy. Which usually means if you play the correct card on turn 7 or turn 8 with the normal Bran combined, you might just have so much tempo that you stomp your opponent. There's not much to say about Reno decks in general. Like, you play the card that is best for the current situation. But this seems to work. Now, I'm personally surprised by seeing Dark Iron Dwarf, the 4-mana 4/4 in here. But it makes sense if you think about Nerubian Ag and Devil's Saw Ag. Same with Glaive Zuka. If you buff a random enemy by +1 attack, and it is your Ag, you get lots of tempo back. And the opponent doesn't really know how to play around Death Rattle Ags. Do they trade into it so you don't get synergy with them, but then you get tempo? Do they ignore it and then you get tempo because of Terrascale, for example? Legend viable, fun to play. Most of you probably don't have Gazrilla. Me neither. I'm pretty sure you don't need that. Next up, we got Odd Rogue. There's not much to say besides. You now play double Pharaoh Cat. The reason for that is it's pretty much another Firefly. You play a 1-mana 1/2 that generates a card. Same with normal Firefly and Swashbuckler. So you play 5 1-drops in itself. They give you another card for them being random. But you can get a good random card. Imagine you get the 4-mana 3/2. The rush thing over there. That's pretty good. We also play Historian buff in here, which is quite a surprise, but it makes sense. If you think about most of the cards being 3 mana and lower, and then you just buff them every single time you play something, good stats in itself. You probably have board control. Now, as you might have noticed, which was a surprise for me as well, when somebody pointed that out, we don't even play a spell. This reminds me of the very first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh!, where Yugi and Joey play, and then Joey only has monsters and not a single spell. This is pretty much his deck. There's not one spell, not even Marius Unstable Element. We just have minions, we have no 7-drop, pretty much no card over 5 mana, Barco is just for the hero power obviously. Not for the insane stats on turn 9, there's a 7-8 with artifact. And Odrog being around for like the past 2-3 years. That's a lie because Witchwood came out last year in April I think. You probably have the deck, but this one would be an updated list. Maybe a few too many 5-drops for my personal taste, but I don't play it. I just play against it and usually lose. So yeah. Give the updated list a try. And lastly, a deck I wanted to feature like a week or 2 ago, but I kind of forgot. It's Reno Warlock, with an updated list this time. Now obviously, would have thought Reno Warlock is still a good deck. It's still tier 1 or tier 2, depending on how you play it, how you build it. And some of you ask if I have an updated list or a new list. Because obviously the meta changes, cards are getting cut, other cards are getting added to the deck, and give it a higher chance of survival. For example, we now play Eater of Secrets in pretty much every Reno deck, because well, mages are around. And there are lots of mages, and Eater of Secrets hitting like 2 or 3 secrets is really good, really powerful. The surprising thing in here is, even though we do play Nazalth, we don't play Mistress of Mixtures. We also don't play any other 1-mana spell, or card, in general. Which means, maybe you want to meme it up and play a quest, but you probably shouldn't. The main things I see, besides the way I played the deck compared to this list, personally I didn't run Siphon Soul. Never felt like I really need Siphon Soul. I mean, if I face aggro in 80% of the cases, almost every time, I don't want to have a 6-mana heal for play. That might be a little bit slow. It really makes sense that there's no Despicable Dreadlord. Usually when you faced Odd Paladin, or anybody who plays cards, and you had Despicable Dreadlord on your field, they usually concede, because they use the hero power, get 2/1/1s, and just have Despicable, makes them that. But that makes your Sense Demons even worse, because you want to target your Void Caller into Void Lord, or Void Caller into Morganis. And the card being cut makes sense, because I don't really see Odd Paladin. If I see them, I'm happy, because they're not mages, or they are in Snip Warlock. If you play the deck correctly, I would say you can win against every single deck. Obviously, if you face something like Snap and you can't remove the board at a certain point, then they just go in and kill you. RIP. And that being said, that was it. And those will be the 7 decks that you can use to get a rank 5, legend, whatever your goal is. If you have a 60% win rate, regardless of what deck you play, would you rather play Odd Warrior and take 25 minutes per game? Would you rather play Secret Mage that takes 5 minutes per game? So you can play 5 games in this time where you would win 1 game as a warrior. If that makes sense to you. Obviously, I would highly prefer if you play the slow deck so we can have fun, but that is not the goal. The goal here is not to have fun, the goal is to go to Legend, to go to rank 5, get your golden epic, get your legendary card back, and then stay out of there and play your meme decks. There will also be a video about budget decks you can use to go for rank 5 or Legend in the upcoming week, I guess. If you found this helpful or you hated it, I don't care. Leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think. Which deck is good, which deck is broken, and most importantly, try the Evolve Shaman deck if you have the cards. Because if somebody got to rank 1 Legend playing that, it has to be good. Before I clap twice and say goodbye, don't forget to subscribe. See you guys tomorrow.